Bonjour à tous, privyet, konnichiwa. So welcome back again. My name is Jesse. It has been quite a long time since we discussed something new. So in today's wonderful discussion, we're talking about a very, very important topic, right? The topic is roast what you hunt, right? Roast what you hunt. So let's see this picture. So for example, let's say you go around, you chase a chicken, right? And then you kill the chicken. Is it, when you kill the chicken, looking at this picture, is it appetizing to you? No. Right, but for it to be appetizing for you, you have to go through a process for it to make something very sweet and very nice, right? You have to go through a process. So let's talk about what this verse means. Roast what you want. So let's check this verse in the scriptures. So in the book of Proverbs 12 verse 27 says something that the slothful man roast not what he took in hunting. Right? The slothful man roast not what he took in hunting, but the substance of the diligent man is precious. So we'll be taking only the first part of this verse. The slothful man, he doesn't roast what he took in hunting. So some of the things there that you're going to learn about is that, one, there is a slothful man, right? So when you say slothful man, it means that somebody that is lazy, somebody that is slack, somebody that is slow, somebody that is idle, somebody who is a barrier. So who is a barrier? In the book of Matthew chapter 25, the Bible talks about the man that was given 1 talent. The Bible called him a slothful man. So in other words, when you have something and you don't trade with it, you hide it, you are also known as a slothful man, an idle or a lazy man. Now let's see another thing in this verse about roast, right? So there is the word called roast, and then there's also another word called hunting. So look at this verse very well. The slothful man, right? A lazy man does not roast what he took in hunting. So somebody that is hunting can be termed as lazy? Really? So let's see why the Bible is saying that. So there are two types of mindset in this world. We have the hunter's mindset, and then we have the farmer's mindset. So there's a whole video on more details about it. You can check in the playlist. So what is a hunter's mindset? So the hunter's mindset is that, like, every day you go to the bush, then you hunt for animals, right? You capture animals. So it is a good mindset, but it's not the best mindset, right? So that is the kind of business you start every day. You are putting in all your activity. You trade your time for money every day, doing the same thing over and over again. You don't have a system. You're always doing that over and over again. That is the hunter's mindset. You're always craving for something new. So that's what this little man did. He went out to hunt, right? He was having a hunter's mindset. And then the hunter's mindset makes you spend more effort but less result. What do I mean by that? So as a hunter, every day you go to the bush, you can move throughout the whole day without catching anything. Sometimes it may be favorable, and then you may get one, right? So you may put in more effort but less result. And again, it is effective because you're actively there, you're actually involved, right? Nobody can cheat you, you're actually involved. But it's not efficient, right? Because you can't scale it. You can put more effort, but you will not be able to get anything. But that is not the best mindset. So let's check the farmer's mindset. So the farmer's mindset is that it is optimized effort and result. So just like the hunter goes to the bush, then he goes to hunt for animals or to go and pick fruits, right? But the farmer does the other way around. The farmer creates the bush. He creates a garden. He creates an environment. He creates a plantation whereby and then he grows the animals. He rears the animals, or he grows a plant, right? So that he's optimizing his efforts and then he's optimizing his result. Again, because of that, it is more effective and it's more efficient, because he knows that when I invest into this particular land, when I invest and create a conducive environment for my animals, I will be able to get whatever I want, right? For the hunter's mindset or hunting, it is uncontrollable. You can't control the weather, you can't control stuff. But for the farmer's activity or the farmer's mindset type, you're in charge. You can control stuff. So in case you want more fruit, you have to increase your plantation. In case you want more animals, you have to increase your plantation, or you have to increase the animals you are rearing. So it is highly scalable. So in business, you should always think about that. You don't just be thinking about hunting, right? Getting something new, putting more effort, being effective. But you should also make sure that you optimize your effort, you become effective and efficient, and you should do things that are scalable, things that you can control, so that in case you want to increase, you can easily increase. So let's go again to the last thing. So a hunter's mindset is unpredictable outcome. You don't know what you're going to get. But when you're using the farmer's mindset, you can predict what you're going to do. So if you don't work today, right, if you don't put in let's say more effort into your 100-acre farm, you know that you're not going to get anything. So it is highly predictable. Unlike the hunters, you can go today, you may not get anything, you may go and may get something, right? But for the farmer's own, it is highly predictable. So the best is to combine the two of them, right? To combine the two of them, not just pick hunters, right? Hunter is good for getting something new, but to be able to scale and grow and keep and be constantly predictable and then controllable and scalable, you need to have a farmer's mindset more, right? But you have to combine the two of them. Okay, now let's see why the Bible was saying that the slothful man, he hunts, right? He's having a hunter's mindset, but he's called slothful. So what do I mean by roast what you want? So what do I mean by that? So first of all, let's see the slothful man. So the slothful man hunts, right? That means that he is not passive, he's not just there, right? He's doing something, he's hunting, doing a very, very difficult work. He's putting more effort, but he's getting less result, right? He's putting more effort. He goes to the bush to hunt animals, but he fails to roast what he caught. See how I spot the goat? Yeah, goat, yeah. He fails to roast what he got. He invests his effort to catch an animal, to catch a chicken, to catch an antelope or something, or a deer, but he fails to roast what he got. That is, it may look bad, right? But that's what most of us do. So let's see what it means again. So what is roasting? So roasting is processing. So if you look at Africa, or most countries like Africa, South America, then Asian countries, as well as Europe and then America, most of these countries, the reason some of the countries are richer than other countries is that some countries concentrate more on the hunting, right? They hunt, they go to the bush, they pick the raw stuff, and then they stop there, right? Just like in most countries in Africa, we have oil, we have gold, we have minerals. We just mine them, then we stop there. We do not move on to the next process, right? We do not move on to the roasting part. So because of that, we are slothful. Because of that, we are not going to get any benefit, right? So in life, you should not just be a hunter, you should also be a farmer, and you should combine the two of them. You should not just hunt for stuff, you should also roast it. So what is roasting? So roasting is processing. So if you, for example, if you take a phone or something, right? Or if you take, let's say, gold. If you mine gold, it's not worth much, but the moment you process it, it is worth more. Like it's same like crude oil. Just take crude oil, it's called crude, right? It's just there. If you just sell it, you're not going to get a lot of money, but if you process it, you can get a lot of things from it and it becomes more valuable. So roasting is processing. Again, roasting is preparation, right? So just like we saw in the picture about the chicken you kill, if you don't prepare it, nobody is going to eat it. If you don't prepare it, everybody will just throw it away or discuss it. But let it be prepared. Let it be prepared. Let take off the feathers, and then you see that it becomes appetizing, right? So roasting is preparation. Roasting is production and innovation. So anytime you have an idea, God give you an idea, God give you talent, God give you skill, you should not just keep it like that. You should roast it. You should roast it. So roasting is processing, preparation, and then when you are bringing it, making a product from that thing that you have, from the raw stuff, you tend to discover new things, you tend to discover something new. And then roasting is packaging, right? Just like the picture that we showed previously, you realize that the chicken, right, when it is just raw like that, nobody loves to eat it, but when you roast it, it becomes appetizing, it becomes packaged. You package it very well, and then you can sell it at any price, you can sell it at even more higher than the price that you got it, right? So that is the power of roasting. That is the power of processing, the power of preparation, the power of production and innovation, the power of packaging. So you should not just hunt, you should not just have raw stuff, you should not just have raw talent, you should not just have raw talent, you should rather roast it, because the benefit is in the roasting. So roasting is also publicized. So you realize that when you kill a chicken, right, and it's there, or you kill a deer or antelope or something, or a rabbit or something, it's there, over time it starts smelling, right, and nobody likes it, or you may not even smell it, you may just then to rot. But when you start roasting it, see that the smell comes so nice, and everybody sees that it's appetizing. The smelling, when you are roasting, the smell attracts people. That is publicizing. So roasting is publicizing. So any idea, any talent, any gift, anything that you have, you should not just have it as something that you have hunted for. You should also roast it. What do I mean? You should process it, you should make it better, you should package it, you should innovate on it, you should iterate over it, you should publicize it. In that case, it will keep on smelling, and then you're going to benefit. So let's see the benefit of roasting. So what are the benefits of processing and packaging? The benefit of processing stuff, right? So first of all, so when you roast something, when you process and package something, you increase the value of the raw item. That explains why cut diamonds, right, are more expensive than uncut diamonds. That explains why processed oil are more expensive than crude oil. So it increases the value of the raw item. The reason the value is increased is because there is more effort placed in the roasting, in the processing, and the packaging than the mining or just the hunting, right? So that explains why there is increased value. Again, it makes it more presentable and attractive. So just like the chicken and then the roasted chicken example, it is more presentable to bring the roasted chicken to a president, to a king, or to somebody than to just take the killed chicken and go and give it to a king. You'll be sacked, right? So processing or roasting makes things more presentable and more attractive, and then because of that, it increases the durability of the item. So just like a chicken, if you kill the chicken and then you leave it there, after some time it's going to rot and then you can't do anything about it. But when you take the chicken, you process it, you preserve it, you roast it, it can last for long, and then it increases the durability of it, right? Again, processing or roasting attracts more clients. Just like when you are roasting a chicken, a lot of people come to smell it and then they tend to it. But the roaster doesn't attract anything. That explains why anything that is processed, well packaged, very, very nice, presentable, are attractive, right? For example, even if when you just wake up and you don't dress, you don't do anything, you don't dress up, you don't clean, just walk out, you don't attract, you even smell. But when you dress, you make up yourself, or you make yourself presentable, you attract more people. So processing and packaging attract clients. It attracts more important clients. It attracts people that are rich, not just anybody, right? Again, you learn new things. So as you are processing, as you are roasting, you get to know, oh, this is what it is, this is how to do this. You get to learn new things, you get to discover new things, just like when they started processing crude oil. Once they started processing crude oil, just discovered that, oh, we can also get petroleum, we can get diesel, we can get bitumen, we can get LPG gas, we can get methane, right? You discover new things, you can get polyethylene, right? So when you are processing, when you are roasting stuff, you discover new things. So whatever gift God has given to you, whatever money, whatever idea God has given to you, do not just leave it in a hunted state. You have to roast it, because when you are roasting it, you increase the value of it, you make it more presentable and attractive, you increase the durability, you attract more clients, you learn new things, you discover new things. Again, you bring about a brand. It becomes branded, right? Because it becomes more packaged, and then it creates awareness and then branding. And then last thing, that remember that processed materials sells more than unprocessed items. That explains why US, Europe, and then most of the countries that are more into production, not just raw production, right? They are more into manufacturing, production, industrialization, are richer than countries that have all the minerals, they have all the crude oil, because they do not roast it. They just hunt, they don't roast. So as a Christian, or as anybody that lives in this life, you should always be thinking about this. What am I not roasting? What have I hunted that I'm not roasting? Because the benefit and the wealth is not in just the hunting, but in the roasting, right? So thank you for listening. I hope you have learned something. Then see you at the top. Stay blessed.